So for the second assessment, it's going to be presentation. So relax. After your quiz, during my fourth meeting, I would give you the topics. But then we'll have access to the full class list. So we can use to share. So for now, your focus should be on the quiz. There's no need to be recorded about presentation. So focus more on the quiz. So the session is being recorded. Okay. I will ensure that at least by next week, you get access to all the videos. You watch the videos, you are good to go. Okay. All right.
Okay. And please the previous recording, if we can get it.
You have
Those
everything.
of us
You
who
have
just joined today. Okay.
Those
Thank
people
you,
who
sir.
are all haven't seen any of them. You have access to everything. Okay. So don't worry.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. So you want to continue with the hardware, just probably a quick review of what we've been doing so far. So we'll be looking at the motherboard, try to get to understand the components, especially the ports that make up the motherboard. If you have to watch a PC, all the ports you see by the sides, at least they have connections inside on the motherboard. So you have to understand what the components are and what it is used for. Okay, we did take our time to go over a couple of things. Most importantly, the ports that you see behind the computers. You should be able to understand what they are and the functions they perform. Okay, so if you pick a component like this one, which I believe you all know too well. Okay, so if you pick this component, what it does. So I believe that is a VGA. If you see this one, you should know that is the HDMI. Okay, the purpose it serves, you should know. If you pick the Ethernet port, you should know what it does. And then most popularly is the USB port. So you should know clearly what it's used for. All right. Again, to talk about the Ethernet ports and the RJ45 connector, you should know what it is used for. And in case you don't have this Ethernet ports, how do you get connected to a wired internet or a wired network? If say your laptop doesn't have this port, because not all the laptops that come with them. So if you don't have one, can you still connect to a a wired network? And how will you do that? Any idea? Your PC doesn't come with an Ethernet port, but you want to get connected to wireless, a wired network. So, Sumali, what
Yes,
can you
sir.
do? All right.
You can get a converter, an Ethernet converter.
A converter.
Yes.
Okay. Converter. So there are several of them. So if you get one, you are good to go. All right. Great. So these days, our laptops are quite slim because of the shape and the size. So there is a need to get the right converter. So these days, we are moving on to the USB ports. And we are saying that these days there are several types. Okay. Now there is a move for, this is becoming more common these days. The type C is becoming very common these days. Okay. Though the type A and the 3.0 are still available. Okay, but these days we are seeing more of the type Cs. Even with your phone chargers, you realize that these days they are moving more to type C rather than the USB mini. What is the reason for that? Why is there a move for type C rather than the USB mini or the micro that we used to be known of? Any reason why they are moving away from the USB mini to the type C? Somebody says faster. Marisa, you want to help us?
Sir, because the usage of the smartphone has become higher than the one we know, the banking, the smaller phones.
Okay, I'm talking about the type C. Why are they moving to the type C? The cable.
Okay, so getting to internet network is easier than the USB mini.
Okay, somebody want to ask something else. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I see. Yeah. So why is a movement from the mini or micro to the type C?
So I think recently there was a new directive by the EU that all phones should revert to Type C because of a particular directive. That directive I don't remember, but I think it's a move for better connectivity and better usage of electricity.
Okay, okay. So one other thing is that there can be regulations. Countries can impose regulations. Now we don't want this type of charger. We want this format, and you don't have any option than to allow it. These days they ship devices without chargers. If you want a charger, I have to go and buy as additional accessories. But the main reason is that the Type C is faster. The fast charging one, this is a reason. It's faster at charging, it's faster at data transfer. I think it's more efficient as well. Okay. So that's why there's a move for the Type C. What about Type B? Have you seen its application in any device? Which
No, sir.
device uses the Type B? Yeah, James. Yes, James. Which devices uses this type of USB port? Yes, James. Okay. Enoch searching. Which device still uses this Type C? Sorry, the Type B. Yes, who is talking?
Sir, please, Emmanuel.
Yeah, Emmanuel. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that is for printers and scanners.
Okay, so mostly printers. Printers still use this kind of cable. Though for the connection to the PC might be USB, but from that cable to the printer will be this Type B. Okay. So please mute your mics. Okay. All right. So more about the Type C. Okay, we have the Thunderbolt, we have display ports, we have the USB. Okay. So based on which one you are buying, you should have a small research about what it really does. Some are used for charging, others are used for display, others are used for data. So there's a need to do some small search before you pick them, right? So essentially, you have to be familiar with the ports that is you have on your computers. And then if there's a need to get additional one, you do so. And so there are lots of converters. You have the USB to the HDMI or USB to the VGA, USB to whatever. You can always get a converter to perform some function for you. All right. So from the ports, we came to the motherboard itself. So what we are saying is I should be able to identify some of the major components, at least on your own. Be able to identify like 7. The common parts, about 7 of them will do, which I'm sure you can all do that. Who cannot identify
Yes, sir.
at least 7 ports here? 7 parts of the motherboard. Who cannot do that? Who cannot identify? All right, the feedback is positive. You can all do that. Great. All right, so this is all that we did. You can easily go back to what we did last week, and then you get used to, you cover up quickly. All right, so to make progress, you want to focus more on the CPU. Today we'll focus much more on the CPU. Okay. When we come to, can you upgrade your CPU? If say I have i3, is it possible to upgrade it to say i5 or i7? Is it possible? So just to reiterate the point that there are two major manufacturers of processors. Okay, you may have Intel or AMD. They are equally good. There are some models that come each time. Okay, we can focus on the cores. The latest out of the cores is a Core i9. Equivalent one is a Ryzen. They are equally good. Let's say I have a Core i3. Is it possible to upgrade my processor to i5 or say i7? Is it possible to upgrade? Definitely, we know that i5 might be better than the i3. So is it possible to upgrade? Is it possible to upgrade? So let me start with Godfrey. Amma, your hand is up.
Yes, sir. It's possible to upgrade, but it has a feature or let me say a consequences towards that. So, and you know, the motherboard, building of the motherboard and that thing, let me say they build that in generations. Every generation and every part or components they add to the motherboard. So that you might upgrade to i5 or i7, but the i7 might not be compatible with the motherboard. So that is all. Thank you.
All right. So somebody else want to add to what our brother said. Let me go to John. The question was, is it possible to upgrade your processor from a lower one to a higher one? Somebody else want to add?
Definitely you can.
Okay, good.
Yes,
John, go ahead.
you can upgrade. Yes, you can upgrade, but only on desktop. Laptops is not possible to upgrade to a higher spec CPU.
Why are you saying that?
Because with the laptops, it is soldered onto the board, so it is impossible to upgrade to a higher version. You'll have to change the whole motherboard before you can upgrade, or a new PC or a laptop.
So it is possible. It is possible, right?
Come again, sir.
The question was, is it possible to upgrade
No,
your
it's not. Yes, for desktop, yes, but for laptops, no.
All right, we'll come back to that one. Solomon Lawson, you want to add, and then Bernard will come in and then I'll sum it up. So Solomon Lawson, you want to have a bite on this?
Hello, sir.
Yes, hello.
Technically, I don't think it is possible to upgrade. Just like the first guy said, it can be compatible with the motherboard, no matter whether it is a desktop or a laptop. So in effect, it definitely will not be possible. You need to buy a new machine which has a higher core processor. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So Bernard.
Okay, so I want to say it is possible only when the generation is the same. So let's say you are upgrading from i5 to i7 and they are both maybe fourth generation or fifth generation, then it is possible. But when you are upgrading from i5 to i7 and then your i7 is maybe 9th generation and then the i5, which is the for the machine, is 5th generation, then it's not possible. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So thank you for all your submissions. So it's possible to upgrade, but it's not advisable. Okay, it is possible, but it's not advisable. If you bid on them, whether they are the same generation, probably like I said, the whole issue is I have to be compatible with the motherboard. If it's not compatible, then it's like a lost battle. It's quite expensive as well. The cost of even upgrading, you are better off buying a new device. So if you want to upgrade your processor, it's not. We would advise you to do that. Okay, we would not advise you to upgrade, though it's possible, but it's not advisable. Right. So some started mentioning some other things. I was hearing generation and all of that. So let's look at those factors. It's very important. So when you are choosing a processor, there are other factors you consider. Of course, one of them is the generation. Any other factor you consider? Apart from the generation, is there something else? So first of all, what is this generation
Yes, sir.
people were talking about? So let's talk about generation first, and then we'll come back to. So generation is key. So when you are buying a processor, you need to know the generation. Okay, it's all about the architecture. So almost every year or 2 years, these manufacturers come up with a new architecture, which performs better than the old one. Okay, so it's always a good practice to go in for a new architecture, which has better improvements over the previous one. Okay, so if you are looking at Intel, their current generation is the 14th. Okay, and each one comes with different technology, different architecture that makes it perform better, or it come up with several cores and some few other things. So you are always better off going for one with a new generation. So for instance, you are buying processor Core i3, which is 14th generation. And then there is a Core i5, which is 10th generation. Which one will you go for? There's a Core i3, which is 14th generation, is the latest. And then there's a Core i5, but 10th generation. Which one will you settle for? Though the question is incomplete, but try and give me an answer. Which one would you want to settle for?
Sir,
Yeah,
hello.
Yes.
I'm going for the i3, the 14th generation, because of the generation.
Because of the generation.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So it's possible, it's highly possible that the Core i3 might perform better than the i5 because of the generation. So it's not always about going for a Core i5. You also need to consider, the generation is about one of the most important things to consider when picking up a processor. You need to know the generation. Okay. John, do you have a question?
Sorry, sir.
John,
Sorry, no.
Yes. Okay, was the previous
Yes,
one.
sorry.
Okay, so generation is key. For us, we have to make informed decisions than what the ordinary person will do. Though people might be talking about i3, i5, but we should probe further that I will want something that is the generation is new. All right. So how do you find the generation of your PC? If you want to know the generation, what do you do? Or where do you go? If I want to know the generation, okay. So right now, I'll come back to that question. How do you determine the generation of your PC? So what other factor do you consider when buying a processor, apart from the generation? Is there something else to look out for? Anything else to consider when, apart from generation? And we are now looking at the processor itself. There are certain things we consider. What are the other things you might want to look for? Somebody say the speed. There's a clock speed. What else again? Apart from the speed, what else we look out for?
So the graphics.
So there's some graphic aspect too. All right, so we don't want to be quite technical, we just want to be brief. So the processor itself, there are some other things, but one of the most important things you look out for is the generation, which we just spoke about. Okay. Then another thing is the speed, how fast it processes per the second. There's something called something related to the speed is about the table boost, and then there's something about the core count. So these key things are very important when we are narrowing down on the processor. All right. So let's quickly talk about the speed. So the speed, every processor comes with a speed. When you check the spec, it will come with a speed, 2 point something, 3 point something. Okay. So how many cycles the CPU perform per the second? Okay, it affects how fast it processes. So when you see something like 2.2 gigahertz per second, we are looking at about 2 billion cycles per second instructions. So it's really fast. Abigail, do you have a question? So you are always better off picking something with a higher speed. You are always better off picking something with a higher speed. Okay, so the speed is a core factor that you consider when buying a processor. Is there a question from Abigail? Or was a mistake? Okay. So the speed is billions of instructions per second. So the higher the speed, the better. Okay. So the higher the speed, the better. So when you are choosing, you also should focus. They can be of the same cost. Maybe for i3, or for whatever, but you have to the same cost. But another factor is to consider the speed, the number of cycles it moves per the second. The higher, the better. Okay, the higher, the better. So another core factor is what we call the turbo boost. The turbo boost. All right. So usually there is a base speed, and others will have what we call a turbo boost. So there is a standard performance. Others can go beyond the standard performance. So if you are buying a processor, it comes with a turbo boost. But I want to consider that one, because beyond just the base performance, it can do much more than the normal performance. All right, Solomon, do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to find out the turbo boost, is it the same as the hyper threading?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, so you need to also consider, if you check the speed. I asked you a question some time back, are they the same? Or one is higher than the others? Okay, so if it's higher than the other significantly, then it has this turbo boost. So apart from the base performance, it can do additional processing. So these are some core factors you consider when buying the processor. All right. So for you, like I said, you are making informed decision better than somebody else would. So at least you know about the clock speed, you know about the turbo boost, you know about generation. The last thing I want to add is the core count, the number of cores. The number of cores is very important. These little things affect how your PC performs. Okay, it affects how your PC performs. So with the modern PCs, Evans, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
All
How
right,
do
go
you
ahead.
determine the generation of your processor?
All right, I asked that question. I'll come back to it. I want us to finish the call and then we'll add all of that. So the number of cores is very important as well. Okay, so every processor, the cores represent independent processing units. So if you have, say, 4 cores, literally what it means is that you have 4 different processors on the same processor. Okay. So for instance, if I have 4 cores, literally means I have 4 different processors on one. So if I give it a task, they can easily divide by the 4, and then all of them will work at it. It will finish faster. So the more cores you have, the better multitasking and the parallel processing your PC can do. Okay, so I can have the same core i5. One has a quad core, one has a hexa core. You are better off picking one with the higher, cores than the one with the lower cores. But like we said, technically, the cores represent independent processing units. So the more cores you have, the better. All right. So the example I'm showing you right now, so there is a laptop. Usually, when they are being sold abroad, if you go on the website, some will be generous enough to tell you the generation, tell you the processor, and they can go ahead and tell you the cores, that it has 6 cores. Okay. This one went ahead to explain to us that it has 6 cores. So these are some of the nitty-gritties you want to look at when buying laptops. Okay. But this other one tells us that this is a Ryzen 5. The number of cores is a hexa core. I mean, hexa, how many, when we say hexa, represent how many numbers?
11.
No, hexa.
Six.
So that is 6 cores.
Yeah, 6.
6 cores. Okay. Even though this is Ryzen 5, but they say it beats the i7. Okay, possibly because the number of cores are more than the how do you call it, the i7. Okay, this particular device here, it has about 40 gigabytes RAM, 2 terabytes SSD. That's crazy, right? So again, when you are buying, this one has some, for instance, quad core. Quad core, how many cores?
4.
4. So this core i5, but quad core, 4 cores.
4.
4. Yes, you are better off picking one with like 6 cores, hexa cores than just this one. Okay. All right. Additionally, just different examples. So this is Cerelon. I know some of you might not like Cerelon. You might have your own perception. But this is Cerelon. It has a quad core. Okay, quad core, 4 cores. And then the memory is 16 gig, 512 gigabyte SSD. Cerelon with a quad core. So it's not bad at all. It's not always about a Core i3 or i5. You have to look down further. It can be Cerelon or something else. But you have to now look how many cores. Okay, the speed and other things have to come in. All right. There's another one like Athlon. It's a dual core. How many cores do you have here? If it's a dual core, then how many?
2 core. 2 core.
2 core. 2. Great. Great. There's also a Pentium processor. 4 cores. I'll just say that it's not always about your i3, i5. You have to look at some of these technical details as well. How many cores? Okay, the speed, the generation. So back to the question. How do you check this cores and the generation? Is there a way you can check on the computer?
Yes, sir.
How? Tell us, how do you check? Yes, who said yes?
Okay, sir.
Richard, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and tell us.
Sir, please, you go to your settings. Please, are you listening?
Yeah, we are listening, yeah.
Okay, you go to your settings and then you go to system, yeah, where you have your display, sounds, and notification. You click on that and then you click on about. It will display your PC informations, like device specifications.
But you get the, how do you call it? The number of cores, the generation. Will you get that information from there? I doubt. So, Patrice, can you help us? Yes, the graphics.
Most of the times, you can go to the I think my computer. Then you right click, then you go down to properties. It will come.
Would this give us the information we need?
Yes, sir.
Will it get us the information we need? Yes. Yes. Safako.
Yes, sir.
Safako, can you repeat yourself? Yes, Safako, help us.
You type MS info 32. Then you get all the
info
details.
32.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So let me try and demonstrate this for us.
I've done that. Then everything else.
Yes, sir.
Yes. You did which one?
The properties. You go to my computer, then you go down, you right click, then you go to properties. It will come.
You saw the
Yes,
number
sir.
of calls.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, let's hear you.
you can also right click on that bar down there. I've forgotten the name. Permit me. Where the Windows search is, that bar. You right click on an empty space in that bar, and then you go on. You open Task Manager. You click on Task Manager. From there, you go and click on the Performance tab. You will see your
Okay.
CPU details there.
Okay, all right. Well, there are several ways you can verify. Okay, so MS Info 32 can give you an idea. Okay, at least what I'm showing you, we can have the number of calls. All right. So perhaps what I'm using is the 4 calls. So on your own, can you check the number of calls? The PCs you are using. Can you use the same information to tell us the number of calls?
Sir,
Please go over.
is the 4 compute calls the same as the calls?
4 what?
Compute calls
Where are you seeing that information?
from the processor.
Is it what I'm showing or is something else?
Something else.
I need to be
Let me
sure
check
what
what
you are
you should.
saying.
Okay, then let me. Okay.
So if you use this command ms info 32 from the command prompt, okay, from the command prompt, okay, just type ms info 32. It will pop up a new window will pop up, which will give you that details, at least 4 calls. Okay. Any other way to check with a command prompt? Sometimes system info. Let's try system info to see. System info. System info. Command prompt. So you type and wait for it to figure things out. Okay. So we can just go through and see. So the system info can give us idea about the processor. Okay. It tells me the family. What is the DX diagnosis? So far, is there a way to check the generation? Somebody say, where do you find a command prompt? Somebody's asking.
Windows R.
Where do you find a command prompt? So Windows R is not really the command prompt, okay? If you go to the search and type CMD, if you go to the search and type CMD, if you click on search and type CMD, I'm sure you get access to that. I find it difficult to share my desktop. I don't know why. Let me see whether it allows me. If I try sharing my desktop and then things go haywire. Anyway, so what about the generation? Is there a way we can figure out the generation?
Sir, please, the quickest way I was taught to check the generation was the name on the CPU. After the i5, the first letter that you see, after the core i5 or core i7, the first number you see, that is the generation. So if it is 11500C or something, then it is 11th gen.
Just a second. So just a second. So these are the real stuff you need to know. All right. Okay. So are you all able to check your number of calls at those days?
No, sir.
What is the problem?
How to input the command?
How to input the command? So when you search for CMD, okay, when you search for CMD and type, this thing will show up. Okay, and then just type MS-INF101D. Are you able to do the search and type INF101D? Sorry, you do the search for CMD. You click on the command prompt and type MS-INF102. It will open up this for you. Okay. All right. So I was asking at least one of them, if you get to the processor, at least it will list the number of calls. So I was asking about the generation. How do we check it? Somebody was trying to answer that for us. Can you help us again?
Sir, please, I said you can check the first number after the core i5, the i5.
Okay.
The first number after it. So this is 6. So it means it is a 6th generation CPU.
Okay, so that is the information from the market. So please, what do you also have? To check your processor, the generation and the cores, use a chat.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, sir. So mine is AMD Athlon Silver.
Okay.
So that one, how can I check my generation? Because there's nothing like generation that is written there. They just write AMD Athlon Silver 3050 with Radeon graphics.
All right.
So I want to know whether that one too it has generations or not.
Yeah, they do. They do also have generations as well. Right. Okay. Who else? There are some hands up. John, have something else to say?
The what?
John, do you have a question?
Nothing. Sorry.
Anybody else would like to contribute to our discussion?
Okay. What was our project plan?
Somebody wants to contribute to our discussion.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
So you said you should enter something in the command prompt. Is it that you? I didn't hear it well.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, it said you open the command prompt and you
Okay.
type ms-info32.
MS info.
Info32.
Sir, please have created my in the conversation, so I don't know. Whether you can hear me.
All right, so I mean, the thing is that I don't know much about the article. I don't use how to call it. I'm not using what do you call it? An ALD process. But the fact is that if you have to search further, it can give you, there's a code name that comes with generations. And hopefully, who has that code for you? Joseph, we have a question. Joseph,
Please, I was asking if it's the number that comes before logical process. Logical something. Logical processes. Is it the number that comes before?
Which one is the logical processes?
The after six calls, they've written 12 logical processes. As yours, they've written.
Okay, okay, so
is it that number?
No, after the I5, you see there is a hyphen, mine will be 6 something. So after the I whatever, what do you have? The number that comes after that.
Mine is E-2176M.
Okay, so the fact is that you can copy this information and search about and ask about the number, the actual the generation, and that should be able to come. Okay. All right. Once you have the details about, you can copy this information onto the normal search and ask for the specific generation, and that you can get that information. All right. So all that we are trying to say here is pretty simple. That if you want to choose a processor, you have to look at other core details. You don't just look at just how do you call it? I buy the core i3 or i5. One thing that counts the most is the generation. So all that we are saying is that all right, so be checking the chat because somebody has information for you. So it's very important that we look out for these other key things. The clock speed. Usually the latest generation will come with the latest, what do you call it? The cores. The latest generation will have latest cores. So if you look at the 14th generation here, the key feature is that it has higher clock speed and it has more cores. Okay, 13th generation, naturally, it has more E-cores. It has higher cache. It supports a lot of things. So far as you are going for a higher generation, there is nothing to worry because naturally the other things will fall in place. It's only when you are settling for something below 10, then you have to naturally look for that. But once you have a latest generation, the architecture is perfect. It supports modern computing. That's all. So I would say the number one thing is to look for the generation. However, if your budget is below 10,000, I'm afraid you have to look for a lower generation. If you are looking for something higher, 12, 13, 14, then you have to think about spending more. All right. So that's much more about processor. We needed to take our time to discuss this because these are the real things that you need. At times, when you check for the specs of a PC, the OS, we have either 32-bit or 64-bit system. The OS, what does it mean? If you have 32-bit system or 64-bit system, what does it mean? If your OS is 32 or 64-bit system, what is the meaning? Somebody wants to help us. You say your OS is 32-bit system or 64. What is the exact meaning? All right, Fafali.
So
You say your OS
it
is
talks about how it talks about the number of like how much of information it can process.
okay. So we'll accept that. We want to add more. Or another hand was up. What does it mean? 32-bit system, 64-bit system. What is the exact meaning? Solomon.
Sir, as you were saying, it's the number of processor that per second that the computer would process the information that is being given out. And sometimes it's also compatible with the softwares that you install. If you are using a 64-bit system and you are trying to install a 32-bit software, sometimes if it is not compatible to install it on the device.
Okay, exactly. So which one is the preferable?
The 64-bit processor, because that one processes more than the 32, faster than the 32.
All right. So I thought Microsoft themselves, they are phased out 32-bit OS. Microsoft has phased that one out. Okay. So if you do a search, they will tell you that Microsoft has significantly phased out support for 32-bit OS. Okay. So now the 64-bit is the standard. 64-bit system is the standard. All right. Portia, you have a question? Portia.
Yes, sir.
All right. So go ahead with your question. Okay.
Sir, please, when you are talking, I'm following, but the processor, I heard you say, especially the Intel i9, i7, and i9, but mine I can see Ultra 7, but I've not heard you say anything about the Ultra. Or mine is no good.
Ultra is higher than the cores. Okay. There's an Ultra. They are higher.
Yes, Ultra 7. I can see Ultra 7 here.
Yes, so you are way higher than the video cores. So the latest one have some interesting, So would you want to tell us how much you bought your PC?
Sir, please. I bought mine 14,500.
That is
Okay. Okay. All
Wow.
right.
That's huge. Huge.
Please, like Amudia Bumiana.
Oh no. I mean, so what are the specs? What specs do you have with
You
your
are
laptop?
very rich.
So I think I have the SDD. I have 1 terabyte. So please, you said.
I said, don't tell me you think. You have to be sure.
Okay. So the SDD is 1 terabyte, and the RAM is 16 gig, and 14th generation. Oh,
solid.
Hey.
Yes.
Wow.
14th generation.
My goodness.
Anyway, you should have 1,005.
Then yeah.
Now we do school.
No, 1,005.
Now we do school.
All right. It's good. It's good. She brought this things up. Okay. So the latest processes, I'll be based on your price tag. Okay. So if you are doing based on our money, if you are doing below 10,000, then we focus on the calls and all of that. But the latest now, they talk much more about the Ultras and some other things. So, like for instance, this PC talks about Ultra 5. So above the cores, the latest is more about the Ultras. Okay, so if you are doing anything Ultra, then you see the price range, you should go above 10,000 and the rest. Okay, so latest generation and other things, these are the kind of things you should be looking out for. Okay. So the Intel Core now we are talking about the Ultras. We are no more talking about the Core i5, i3. It's not about the Core Ultras. They are the latest out there. Super speed and everything. And now the 16 gig is now becoming like the basic memory now. Okay, so it's all about budget. So yours is perfect. Just have to say, I mean, where you were was about the 32-bit, 64-bit system. Okay, so these days we are saying that even Microsoft has stopped support for 32-bit OS. It's not about the 64-bit system. Like I said, it's all about how data communicates. If you are communicating behind the scene, how does data transfer? It's all based on the channels. So what is the name of this thing I'm showing? The diagram I'm showing, what is it?
Sir.
What is the
Circuit
diagram
system.
that I'm showing? You see a circuit system. Now somebody see something else. If somebody sees something else.
Circuit board.
Yes, please, it's the circuit system.
Okay, so if you turn behind, if you the motherboard, if you turn behind, you're likely to see something like this. Okay. So technically, we might call it bus. It's just a channel through which data travels. So when you click something, you want to communicate to some another part of the computer. You have to communicate through this, buses or the channels you see here. Each one connects to some other components. So if you want to issue instruction, you click on something, you have to travel through some of these things behind the scene. So some of you might become developers. You might want to build systems. So you have to start getting familiar with some of these things. Okay. So if your passion is building systems, you have to understand the logic gates, logic board, and how to design some of these things. So when it said instruction, it moves through a particular one. That's going to be interesting, right? It's more like moving to electricals now. So PC, as you see, there's a lot of things going on behind the scene. All right. So the processor, as you see, yes, we said it's possible to change, but it's not advisable because they come tied with the motherboard. Okay, so your motherboard, if the motherboard is not compatible, it will never work. Okay, so let's look at the storage. Can you easily upgrade the storage? Can you easily upgrade the storage?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Say
sir.
I have an HDD. Can I easily upgrade it to SSD?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Both internal and external.
And will it come at a cost to buy performance?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this one at least you can easily upgrade. If your storage is
Yes, sir.
smaller and you want to upgrade, you can easily do that. In the past, we saw, I don't know, Richard, your hand is up.
Yeah, so please, is it advisable to use both the SSD and then hard disk at the same time?
Okay, so we have hybrid computers. They made room. So hybrid, all it means is that you have an SSD and HDD as well. They come together. They are two different storage on the same device. So you can do it for a hybrid one. Okay. But as whether you can easily make your laptop hybrid, if you have the necessary space, you can. But I believe that if you have a desktop, you can easily add on But the fact that you can easily change your storage, whether it's the hard disk or the SSD. Usually you are moving from hard disk to the SSD. You can easily do that. Others come as hybrid. You can easily make that change without really having any serious effect on your system. Okay, so that one you can easily do that upgrade. It wouldn't create much problems. So as I was reiterating later, there are devices that come with both storages. It has a terabyte. Usually the SSD is smaller for the processing or your system files, and they have additional HDD for your other systems. So it's possible we have these two there. But of late, you might have just one. The hybrid are a best case, but I have just one of them, and that is fine. Okay. And I believe in terms of storage, these days you talk more about cloud storage as well, which I believe at least you all know what cloud storage is. And you all have an account, right? Yes. Yeah, you have a question? Yeah, do you have a question? All right, so let's talk about cloud storage. Yes, I want to believe that everybody now have a cloud storage. You know how to activate it. Worst case is a Google Drive. At least each one of you, based on what you've done so far, should be proficient with how to access and use their Google Drive. Okay. So far as you have a Gmail account, you have access to a drive. You should know how to use it. You should know how to create a folder there. You should know how to store files, how to share files. And these are the basic things I wish you can do yourself without any help. And I also believe that you can do that, right? We can all, or you all know how to.
Not all of us.
Okay, some of us.
Yes, sir. Yeah, not all of us.
Okay, so I try to make the course as practical as possible. All right, so how will you access your Google Drive? Say on the computer, if I want to access Google Drive, what do I do? Can somebody help me? If I want to access Google Drive, how do I do it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, who is talking? Is it Sumani?
Yes, Sumani.
Okay, so Sumani, how do I access my Google Drive?
When you as you have opened Google, around where your account is, there is a box of dots. You click on that dot, it will drop down. It's a menu that will
Sumani,
drop
unfortunately,
down.
your line is breaking. Your line is breaking. Okay. So let me take somebody else just because you're lying. Alfred. Alfred.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, you have to log into your email.
Okay, so you first have to log into your email. Okay. Or else, if you've been on the phone, you have an account. You can download Google Drive on the Play Store. Okay, you can do that. So once you are logged in, you first have to log into your account. And then you can type drive.google.com. Okay, you can type drive.google.com. Drive.google.com. You need to have an email account first. Once you are logged in, okay, it brings you somewhere here, drive.google.com. Okay, but you have to first log into your email account. Then it brings you here, drive.google.com. Okay, drive.google.com. You first have to log into your email account before you are given access to this information, drive.google.com. Are you there? Is somebody
Yes,
trying?
sir.
Okay, so drive.google.com. So currently, I'm inside your Google Drive. So this is your Google Drive for this class where I've uploaded all that I'm doing. I've uploaded them already. Okay, so you go to drive.google.com. It will give you access to your Google Drive. So how many free space you have on your Google Drive? It will give you some free space. How many? What size you get for free?
But yours is 200 gigs. I don't know. Does it come with that, or you have to purchase another space?
I'm asking you, what is you have? The free one, what do you get?
15 gig. So it's fine.
Now
It's
it's
gig.
15 gig.
The free one, you get 15 gig. Okay. I have 200 gig because I'm paying for it.
Say, I'm
You
using
can
my
put-
phone. Oh, how do I check this?
On your phone, download the app. Go to the Play Store, download Google Drive. Okay, download Google Drive from the Play Store. On the PC,
Yeah, I have it now.
You have it now, great.
I have it now. Yeah.
Great, great. So you get access to 15 gigabytes free. 50 gigabytes free storage, free. If you needed something more, you can get more. And surprisingly, it's also expensive. Okay, I've subscribed to one. I pay 30 cedis a month, and I'm getting 200 gig.
Yeah, my own, they've written 25 CD a month.
Okay, I mean, I'm subscribing to other things here. So you can easily upgrade. And it's not expensive, honestly. I mean, if you are subscribed to something 15 gig, so if we say 100 for 6 CDs, so it's not as expensive as you think. So if you needed more space, you can subscribe and pay something. So if I go back here, if I went to more, these are the options it's giving me. Okay, so I went for the Google AI Plus. I paid 35 a month. Okay, there are other benefits I get from mine. If I even wanted 2 terabytes, I only have to pay about 115 cedis a month to get that. So depending on what you want, you can get, you subscribe to some of these things based on what you use it for. So I'm not just limited to the 15K. All right. So James, your hand is up.
Yes, please. I would like to ask, will you be paying every month or once you pay for the first time, that's all?
Every month.
Hey.
Every month. About 35 cities. 35 cities.
Thank you,
And
sir.
I get access to other things as well, like the AI. What I'm subscribed to, I also get access to other things. There's this Google AI Plus. Okay. If I use Gemini AI, I get to see more things than the ordinary user would do. Okay, so learn to subscribe. You get to enjoy more things. All right, I see some hands up. Let me go to Judith. Is your hands up? Judith or Techi? Okay, so let's go to Techi. Set.
Sir, please, how is the payment done? Is it like something they will use maybe ATM card, or how is it done?
Through your when you want to subscribe, it will ask for the card. Is a card, whether it's a credit card or debit card, it will ask for the number. Okay, once you key in, straight away they will deduct you every month. Every month. So, Adi, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have your question.
So the subscription.
Yes.
Assuming you have subscribed this month and you are able to put your information there, and maybe next month you are not able to pay to renew the subscription. Is it that your information will go or it will still be there?
They will give you some grace period. Okay.
Okay.
They'll get you some grace period. All right.
So
for
you can
instance,
quickly move your information out.
yes, they'll give you some grace period. Just that will not allow you to add more.
Okay.
Okay. So the same with ChatGPT. I've subscribed to ChatGPT. I pay $20 every month. Now it's quite expensive. You pay $20 every month. Let me go to Alfred first, and I'll continue. Alfred.
Yes, sir. So I want to ask a question. I noticed that when I went to my Google Drive,
yes,
I saved the slides from your end, but I saw it saved in my own. Is that how it's supposed to be? Like
Yeah,
I can get access. I can get access to them in my drive right now.
I have given you access. So far as you
Okay.
have the access, you can see it from there.
Okay.
Yes, I'll give you the access. Okay. So like the subscription, people are quite interested. Just subscribe. If so, what I do is that I have a particular account I use for the subscriptions. Okay, based on the work I do, I need to have access to more of them. Like for instance, ChatGPT, I'm using the Pro or the Plus. I do much more things there. So I subscribe when I really need it. So now it's requesting for updates. It went to deduct. There was nobody. That's why it is prompting me. Update your payment soon to continue using. They are just prompting me. And this is like $20 every month. But as when I don't want to use it, I just make sure I don't have money in the account, and then that's it. But the fact is that once you subscribe, you get to do more. Okay, much more. All right, so let me do a quick thing on the Google Drive for you, the rest of it. So you get your 15 gig free. But where you think you need more, you upgrade. Okay, you upgrade. So let's see. So just a basic. So you get your drive. So when you come here, you can do a lot of things. One thing you can do is to come to the new. Okay, you click on new. And I want to create a new folder because I want to demonstrate something to you. I create a new folder here. Okay. And then I'll just give it a name. Let me say computing class. And I'll hit on enter. Okay, so it will create a new folder. I want to create a folder. And then I'll share something with you. So the folder comes here. Computing class. You cannot see.
Yes, my new. Okay, I've seen it.
Okay, all right. So I just double click on my folder. So it's asking me to drop files here. Okay. So if there's a file I want to share with you guys, I just have to go look for that file. So I'll open the folder and pick a file. So there's something I need to share. Were you part of matriculation yesterday? Were you part of the matriculation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Part of it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's a file of articulation. So if you want to drop a file, just click, you pick the file and just drop it here like that. So once you drop, you wait while the file will upload. Okay, so the file is uploaded, whatever file you have. So by here, you can upload up to 15 gig, or you can do much more. Okay, so you are dragging the file. The file is just about 8 gig or so, 8 megabytes, sorry. Oh, it should be 8, yeah. So whatever file you have, just drag it and push it here. Okay, so you watch down there. Once it's finished, it's all one file uploaded. So now the beauty about this is that I can share the file with you guys. Okay, so if I want to share, I can come here, computing class up here. I'll click here and I'll pick an option, say share. Okay, and I can click on share again. So over here is very important. So first, I can share the file with people. If I know somebody's email, I can type the email address here. If I want to share the file with just one person alone, I'll type the person's email address here. But that one, I'm restricted to the people I type here. They are the only people who can see. Okay. But if I want everybody who have the link, I can come down here and select anyone with the link. If I pick the option, anyone with the link, There are having options I can choose. Do I want you to be a viewer? Or I want you to be a commenter? Or I want you to be editor? If I make you an editor, it means you can delete the work. You can do something else to the work. But if I make you just a viewer, you can only view and download. You can't change the content. So usually you make it a viewer. Okay, and then you select copy link. I just copy the link. Okay, so I'm going to the chat. I'm going to share the link with you. You can click on the link and let's see what will happen. So go to the chat. I've shared the link with you. Click on the link and see whether you can have access to my file. Just click on the link to see whether you can access the file that I've shared with you. So that's how to use Google Drive. It's that simple. You drag, you drop, and that's it. Just drag and drop. So anybody who has a link can see the file you have shared. They can only download. They can't do much to it. They cannot delete it because you have limited access. So you don't have access to it, okay? So there's a lot you can do on Google Drive. So they said, can I resend the link? just go through the link and then you have it. But let me send it again. So these days, there's a lot you can do on your drive. There's a lot you can do on your drive. Okay. So let me show you one more thing you can do on your drive. You can also do collaboration. Say you have like the project, the presentation. You can all work on the presentation at the same time. You don't need to be at the same location. So we can use Google Docs. That's what we call Google Docs. Okay. So Alfred, you have a question? Alfred, do you have a question?
No, sir, no, sir. I think it was the old one.
All right. So let me quickly talk about Google Docs. So you can click on New. And this time you select Google Docs. Okay, New, then you select Google Docs. You click on Google Docs. So let me go back to my drive. So I go to New, and then I select Google Docs. It's a blank document, okay? So
Yes.
this document, I can give the file, I can give it a name, okay? Let me just call it collaboration. All right. So with this, I can share the file with my group members. There's an option here called share. I want to share the file with you, so I can just click on the share. Similarly, you can decide who can have access. So anyone with a link, okay, anyone with a link can share. But this time around, I want them to do much more. I want them to be able to comment. I want them to be editors as well. So I can give them the edit right. So you select, once you do the necessary selections here, you select copy link. I'll paste it to a link for you. So I've shared the link. So visit the link. And then you can all work on the same document. So let's say once you're able to open, try and type something in the document and let's see. So you should just enter and try and type something as well. So this is what we call collaboration. So different people can be working on the same documents in different locations at the same time. So when we are doing a group work, we all don't need to be at the same place. Okay, once we share the tasks, we can use this collaboration approach. to work on. So you can see different people working on the file at the same time. So that is what technology can do for you. We are doing collaboration. Different people working on different documents at the same time. So the team leader will be the one responsible for creating the files. So for your presentation, I want to believe that you want to use some of these things to work. Okay, it's a nice way to work. We share the work and everybody can be working at the same time. We can track changes and know who is doing it, who is not. So this is Google Docs. Okay, Google Docs. So all is part of this Google Drive, cloud storage. And you are getting all this thing for free. If you want more, then you pay. Okay, so different people working on different files at the same time. And everything is stored automatically, it saves automatically. So these are some of the things you can do with Google, the Google Drive. Okay, so let's try Google Slides. I want to try something again with. So you can be under your home page. You can go to New, and then you pick Google Slides. Google Slides will do the presentation for you. So you select Google Slides. I'm picking a new file, Google Slides. Maybe I can give it a name. Okay, still loading. So the presentation you are going to do, you can actually do collaboration work. Okay. So your leader, the leader can create the presentation and then share. Please, the one with the story, you can just beat the bytes, okay? So a leader can create the first slide, okay, share with you guys. And then from there, you can begin to work on different aspects of the work. But I have to do nice collaboration so that you don't end up. So I'm sharing a slide with you. Somebody can pick slide 1, somebody can pick slide 2. Create a new slide and then begin to play around it. Okay, so the fact is that you can collaborate on the same file at the same time from different locations. Okay, like somebody's typing, somebody can be in page. So you share the slides. Maybe I'm doing the introduction. Somebody should work on the background. Somebody else should work on some advantage applications, whatever. So you can all share the file and then go ahead and do whatever I want to do with it. Okay, so that is the beauty of the modern tools. That we can be working on different slides at the same time. So let's learn to collaborate. Let's learn how to collaborate on, using the tools available. And you are getting all this thing for free. So there are a lot of free things, but your knowledge will make you powerful. It's all about having the right knowledge to know what is there, what you can use the tools for. Okay. I can see that you're typing, right? So let me cancel, let me close from here. So there's a lot we can do. There's a lot more we can do. So this is just Google Drive. This is Google Drive. So just to demonstrate to you that there's a lot that you can go for when it comes to the drive. All right. So there are other options for us, but Google Drive, you get 50 gigabytes free. There's also Microsoft has OneDrive. That'll give you 5 gigabytes free. There's also iCloud. You get 5 gig. Dropbox will get you like 2 gig. But there is this Mega. I've never tried that, but it says you get 50 gigabytes free. I don't know how true that is. I've never tried it. I've never needed one. These days, like you said, You can subscribe to something 35 CDs a month or maybe 20, or you can do about 10 CD for 100 gigabytes. And I believe that should be enough for you. All right. So you can use them to back up your files. But you can use them to back up. Are there any disadvantages of storing data in the cloud? Can you think of possible disadvantages of storing up your data in the cloud? Can you think of any possible disadvantages of
Yes,
storing
sir.
data in the cloud? So,
Yes, sir.
Winfred, can you tell us, Winfred? Any possible disadvantages?
Yes, there is data mining, and when you store your data in the cloud and you don't take proper care of maybe your usernames and password, and somebody mistakenly gets access to the person can just get access to your information.
So it's possible your data could be compromised. Okay, that's what I mean. Winfred is saying. Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Any disadvantage of for using for storing up data in the cloud?
Yes, please. Please,
What is that?
when you don't have bundle or you don't have data, you will not be able to access it online. Access
What
your
do you
documents
mean?
online.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't have bundle or data?
So when you, let's say you have internet difficulties, like now I just joined, I had to join the meeting. Okay, let's see, we are talking about Drive. So if I don't have a good internet connection, or I don't have a proper internet connection, and I need to get something
So
from the
exactly,
Drive online.
that's all that I wanted to hear. If you don't have
Yes.
internet access,
yes.
But if you say you don't have data or those things, then like it has other meaning. Don't understand it perfectly, but I wanted you to use the right technology. If you don't have
Yes.
internet access, you never get access to your information. So that is a disadvantage. All right, Godfrey. Any possible disadvantages of storing data up in the cloud?
Cost involved. Cost involved. There is a cost
Cost.
involved.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
I don't think we will accept cost. Is it expensive?
Yes.
Where comes the expenses? You are getting 50 gigabyte for free.
So say one, you might need an internet access, an internet to access it. That one you have to purchase. So there's a cost involved, and then you also have to increase.
It's affordable. It is affordable.
It's affordable.
Yes.
So what is affordable for someone might not be affordable for others.
I'm just pulling your legs, okay. Let me go to Douglas, and I'll come to Bernard and the Somali. Douglas, any possible disadvantages of storing the crowd? Yes.
Yes, in case the device gets missing or destroyed, you will not be able to access your information on time.
Oh, but I think so far, data stored up in Google. There are some few times that the file get missing here and there, but to a larger extent, it's safe. Anyway, I mean, you have
So
a
I'm
point.
talking about the device. The device. I'm talking about the device.
Which device?
Whether your laptop or your phone gets spoiled or something like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, but you can still access your cloud storage. You don't need your device. I can go to any other device and I can have access to my content. Okay. All right. So let me go to Somali and then I'll come back to Bernard. Somali, you have something else to add?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
In case maybe that drive, the cloud storage crashes. If it crashes, your data might be lost forever.
Oh, Google can never crash. They have multiple backups all over the world. So don't be worried, okay? It's safe.
So security risk.
Anyway, but you don't put your sensitive data in the cloud, okay? Don't put
That's it.
your sensitive data in the cloud.
Say that like a iPhone, it is automatic backup. When it just turn on your data, then it starts uploading. So you might not see.
But
You can restrict it. Yes, hello.
Say.
There's a risk, security risk. I mean, that's you are susceptible to attack. You are susceptible to breaches and all of that. Okay. Anything else? Let me go to Daniel Nyako.
Yes, please. So it has automatic updates.
You can do what?
It has automatic updates.
Okay, so your data could be mined anyway. They can mine your data and see what is there. I mean, but like I said, be mindful what you store up in the crowd. Okay, be mindful what you put out there. You don't want to, put your sensitive data up there. Your data you put out there, when it is stolen, you don't really care that much. Have that in mind. And when your data is stolen, you don't really care. Something like your CV, some other things, nobody really cares about that. But you put your private data there, then you have an issue to do with it. Okay. So the whole point is this, that usually Google okay, just a second. I know that you cannot see my screen. Okay, so just a second. So be mindful what's installed in the crowd. So what I'm showing you is Google's data center. Okay. So in fact, what they have is that they have data center all over the world. They have backups. So your data will never crash.
Hey, say no Africa.
I said all over the world. Yeah, can't you see? So they have a number of data centers in the North America. At least they have one in the South. If you come to Europe, there are a number of them in the Asia. The rest. So they have multiple backups. So in case one goes down, they can always have access to something else.
Why not Africa, sir?
Ask yourself, why are they not here? Why don't you have a data center in Africa? Any reason?
Sir, please, where's the main server?
We are not reliable.
The Ashaman boys will come and steal the machines.
Okay, so we are talking about data center. Okay, data center is made up of it's a server that's made up of it's made up of a network of servers. That's what we mean data center. It's actually a network of servers. So it's huge structures and huge buildings. So why are they not in Africa? I think that's a question we should be asking. Why are they not in Africa?
Why are they not in Africa? They want code areas.
Security reasons.
Possibly security. Yeah, security could be one of the main reasons.
But I also like
they don't trust Africans.
At times,
maybe Africans will steal all the data.
The electricity requirements, the cost of managing a data center is quite expensive. We can't produce enough power to supply our households. How much more data centers? Okay, so this is an example of a data center. It's a big room, big structures with lots of servers. It's a network of servers, a lot of them. That's how come your data is still active. Can you imagine you go onto your social media one time and then you can't find access to your data? The videos, the pictures you put up there is missing. Is it possible? You get up one day and then everything is gone. The reason why you have them there is because of this data centers all over the world. You are looking at huge structures, huge buildings, which have servers, multiple of them, several backups all over the world. Okay. All right. So a few questions and then we'll continue. Douglas, you have a question?
No, sir.
All right. Daniel, Pechi, Bernard, John, do you have questions?
Sir, I wanted to say something about the disadvantage of cloud storage.
Okay.
I wanted to say you are at the mercy of the people who are running it. If they decide to remove exclude your country from accessing their servers, you won't be able to do anything about it.
All right. So, but if you are using the free services, these are some of the challenges. You can't, take them on. But when you are paid for a service, that one is their responsibility to, and you can demand some of these things because you are paid for that service. But when you are getting it for free, then you are somehow limited. But once you subscribe, there's a duty for them to protect your data up to some extent. Okay, but so far people haven't had any issues with Google Drive. Because what I've seen is that once in a while I might not find some file. My file might be missing somewhere. Once in a while the data just get missing, but I might not be realized. Okay, but like I'm saying that it's just a backup purposes. Don't put anything sensitive there. Just something that's just for backup. What if it gets to the public space? We don't really care. Right. So that's just a rough idea about storage. I mean, now we are in terabytes. Okay. They are trying hard. We started with megabytes. Then there was a gigabyte. Now we are in terabytes. Now there are some pieces which are going to 20 terabytes. Gradually we'll get to 100 terabytes. We might get to 500 terabytes. And then very soon we might hit petabytes. Probably the next generation. Because these days when they give you 1 terabyte, it's not even enough. Because we generate a lot of data every day. So those terabytes might not be enough. But even modern times, if you look at this social media giants, the data that they store, they range or they rank in the petabytes. Every day, the data people are posting out there, the things people are typing, it's in the petabytes. So you can imagine the storage they use. They're already in the petabytes already. Because you are generating so much data. People are uploading content every now and then. Okay, there are times they even limit you, the sizes and all those things. All because they need to manage their spaces. Because they are already in the petabytes. Very soon, they'll move it to the hexabytes, and then there's a zettabyte, yottabyte, there's a brutto, and all those things. Yeah, for us, we can easily relate to the tera, but if you're looking at the big organizations, they are already in the petabytes. For now, it's a terabyte. When you add a number of them, it makes a petabyte. So gradually, you see computer these days, they are having 4 terabytes. The desktops, they've tried 20. Some are trying 50 terabytes. Some will try, gradually, they'll get to a point. Now, with the advances in technology, they are creating smaller storages, but with a higher capacity. So don't be surprised that very soon we'll get into this range of the petabytes and the others. Okay. All right. So now let's talk a bit about memory. Let's look at the CPU. Let's talk a bit about the CPU. There are some parts of the CPU. You hear about the control unit and the arithmetic logic unit. Okay, you hear this about the CPU, that it has control unit and then arithmetic logic unit. Okay, these are things we hear about the CPU. It has a control unit and the arithmetic logic unit. So the control unit, okay, control unit is just like is a manager, okay. It fetches instructions from the memory and decodes them to understand what must be done. Okay, once you understand what has to be done, then it can now direct the arithmetic logic unit or the register to act on the information. So that's the main function of the control unit. Okay, it coordinates all the operation of the computer. Okay, so essentially these are the parts of the CPU. There is a main control unit. It's just like the manager. So what the manager does is that, first of all, information, okay, data that is needed by programs and applications are entered into from the inputs. You instruct something from the keyboard or the mouse. The information gets into the computer's memory. Okay, so the CPU will fetch the information from the memory and decode it. It tries to understand what the instruction is about. Okay, when it understands that it has to do with something, calculation or computation or processing, it will ask the arithmetic logic unit to do that computation. Okay, so after that, whether they have to store the information to a storage device or display that on the screen. So essentially, that is a diagram that is explaining how the processor works. Okay, it shows how the other device is connected, make use of the processor. Usually, for instance, if I want to open up a football game or just a VLC, I'll use the mouse or the keyboard to open. When I double click, I'm sending the instruction into the computer's memory. The processor will pick the memory. The control unit will pick that information. What does it mean? I have to open something. So quickly instruct the arithmetic logic unit to act on it. At the end of the day, whether it's displaying something to the screen or I'm storing something, essentially that's how the component of the CPU works. It's made up of this basic component, the control unit, and then we have the arithmetic logic unit. Essentially, that is the key job they perform. Seth, you have a question?
No, please.
Okay, so there are other two key components. We have the registers and the cache memory. So for this one, I want you to do a small research on them. What is it, and what is the difference between the register and the cache memory? Okay, I want you to do a small research. They all relate to the components of the CPU or the processor. I want you to check the main difference. Also, Daniel, you have a question?
Yes, sir, please. I saw in some book the logic gates as part of the components. I'm asking if it is also part of.
Okay, so when you break down the cache memory, I will talk about it. Please mute your mic here. So essentially, you see this four. Some will be talking about the control unit and arithmetic logic unit. Some are not touched on the register and the cache. But for this course, I'm just touching on this four. So just do a small reading about the registers and the cache. You get to understand more. It's a small research I want to give you to see. Any question based on the things we have done so far? The last thing I want to touch on is the memory, and then I think we'll be good to go. Any questions so far? You are fine. So far, so good. Some don't talk at all. They won't send a message. They will not comment.
So, please, you said it you go and read about the registry and the cache memory.
Question before we proceed. Any question? Techi, you have a question?
Yeah.
Techi, let's
yes,
hear
I have
you.
a question.
All right, go ahead.
You said if you go and read about the registry and the cache memory, I suggest you give us some brief knowledge about it so that
No, just read about it. Just read about it. Okay? Just read. Read. EA Mesa, let's hear you.
Sir, please, for those who are new, we would like to know how the presentation is done, and would it be a topic-based presentation or a question-based presentation?
It's a topic. I'll give you a topic and give you a fair idea the kind of things I want to present on. I'll give you a topic and give you some subtopics. So as for the group, maybe based on your class size, I'll group you guys. For now, I have about 100 or so. I don't know whether that is the entire class, but I can group you into 5 in a group or 6 in a group. I'll give you some specific topic. And
So we are more than 100.
Anyway, so far it's about 100 I see on the call every time. So I don't know. So those are the people I know. The rest I don't know them. But the fathers are. That's why I said I'll get a class list. But for now, I want you to focus on your quiz. For the presentation, when we get there, we'll cross.
Okay.
During my 4th meeting after the quiz, we'll get a presentation. So don't worry so much. First things first is a quiz. All right. So let's begin.
The quiz, they take it easy on us.
Anita.
The quiz, take it easy on us.
Anita,
Yes,
your hand is
sir.
up. All right.
Yes, sir. I have a question. When we're going to Google Drive,
Okay.
you said something about it having I don't know if I should use the word branch or so I wanted to you see sometimes what the internet sometimes someone do post loops and those things, and I think I was following a story last 2 years and forgotten. The person was able to take everything up. I want to know, is it in line with this how the Google Drive is, as they have the centers?
So Anita, your line is not too clear. So if you can reposition and repeat your
Hello,
question
sir.
again.
Can you hear me now?
I think you are better now. Yes.
Okay. So with the servers that they have, okay,
Okay.
I wanted to ask that I think last 2 years I was following some trend whereby the person was able to clear all her nudes. That was all over social media. I
Okay.
wanted to ask how. I was thinking, I was trying to follow. I wanted to ask how
How
the
were you
person
able to do
did
that?
the person go to the main center and had it done, or I know we have people who are good in that, but I want to know if it's from the main source or yeah. Thank you.
That is a difficult question. Like somebody's able to clear their content online, and I wonder how. I really don't know how they do it, but at times they're able to clear. There's a video, there's a link of somebody,
All
and
right.
somehow they're able to.
All right. Thank you, sir.
But clearing, people still have copies on their hard disks. They've saved them. So whatever they want, they can still go.
No, they are able to. They're able to take everything off.
When you are not even on the internet.
Marvin David do.
Anyway, but
Thank
I know it's
you.
possible. They can get rid of it once it's online. There's a way they can, but the fact is that once it goes online, people will save a copy.
So, but if it's already saved on somebody's listen, the person can delete it.
But that's the point, that once there's a local copy, then it becomes problem. But on the internet, they have a way to clear. It's possible, right?
Okay.
So, but you can still search further how they're able to do that. Okay. So Daniel Afrifa, your hand is up.
Yes, sir. With the diagram you just showed on the presentation, the one in the CPU.
Okay. All right.
So the one in the module says fetch, decode, execute, and store. But yours is different from the one in the module.
This one is also in the module, or is not?
No, I've not seen it yet.
Okay, it's somewhere there, but it's the same thing. Which talks about the machine cycle. Just a second. There's this machine cycle. Yeah. What I said is just about the same thing. Okay. So it consists of the steps the CPU actually used to work. Okay, that is a further explanation. For the control unit will fetch information from the memory. Okay, that's the first thing it does. It fetch and tries to decode to understand what information is. And then to now instruct the arithmetic logic unit, okay, to execute. At times, not just arithmetic logic, at times the information have to go to the register or the cache. But what you have, it might go to arithmetic logic unit. And then finally, once everything is either restored or is displayed on the display media. Okay, so essentially just about the same thing. How the works. Okay. All right.
Okay, sir.
So quickly, let me touch on the memory and then we'll go. So memory, can you upgrade your memory? Can you upgrade your memory?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any limit to it? Is there a limit to the? Is there a limit to the memory you can upgrade? Does it have anything to do with the motherboard compatibility?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can easily upgrade your memory, but it has to be compatible with the motherboard.
Yeah.
Okay, the motherboards equally have a limit. You can go 16. The motherboard cannot recognize 16. Okay. If it, the 32 and 64 bits even have a factor to do with the number of memory you can install. If you have a 32-bit system or 32-bit board, there's a limit of memory you can install. Likewise, even with a 64-bit system, you still have a limit to the number. So it's all based on the motherboard's compatibility. And at times, the memory slots also count. Okay, some might have just one. Others might have multiple of them. Okay, so all these are factors you have to check when buying or purchasing. Okay, so the memory slots, some might have two, others might have three, others might have just one alone. So if you have just one, there's a limit to what you can install. If you have two slots, you can decide to buy two 8 gigs, make 16. When you have just one slot, then you are equally limited. Okay, so for memory, you can easily upgrade. But what is the real role of the memory in a computer? What does it do? What is the key role of the memory? So the memory and the processor, how do they affect the performance of the computer? How does the memory and the processor affect performance? Now we are looking at the memory specifically. How does it influence the performance of the computer? Jerry. Yes.
So please, the memory talks about the storage of the machine, yes, and the space of the machine, and how it keeps its data that it is given. That's the memory.
Okay. All right. So somebody wants to add up something. Ivano Frimpon.
So, and also how it reacts towards so many commands.
Okay. So usually so first of all, when you boot on the computer, when it starts, the operating system is loaded into the computer's memory first. So that's one key thing that you need to understand. Now when you are booting, is the OS that is being loaded into the computer's memory. Okay. So applications that carry out specific tasks, that instructions go to the memory. So if you look at all that we've been saying, the memory plays a key role. It affects the speed and everything. So almost every time, the processor will fetch information from the memory. So if your memory is slow, it's smaller, it affects how the processing happens. If you can do multiple tasks at the same time, it depends on the size of your processor. You have open word, you are playing music, you are doing so many things. the memory comes in there. So the bigger, the better, the more you can multitask, can do so many other things. So it's not just about the processor. The memory plays a key role, a serious role in, your system. All right. So at times you need to ensure that you have good speed. Now I say that minimum of 8 gig for you. The barest minimum should be about 8 gig. Okay. All right. So the last two things that we are done. So the memory, we can describe it as volatile and the non-volatile. Right. Can I get an example of volatile storage and non-volatile? I'm talking about the internal memory. I'm talking about the internal memory. Can we have internal memory? Can we have
the RAM?
RAM is a volatile memory.
What about the non-volatile?
Wrong.
Wrong.
Said it
Which
wrong.
other one?
Yeah.
The flash disk, flash memory.
Flash memory. What does it mean? After the memory, we all know at least the memory, the RAM, how it works. Okay, for instance, when I open something in Word and I'm typing, so far as there is power, I can type for hours. If you don't have it saved, the content will be there until I save to a standard storage. Okay, but once I'm typing, if I don't save and the light goes off or the PC shut down, I may not be able to, recover what I've typed because I haven't saved. So for that temporary storage is done by the internal memory, what we call the RAM. But what about the ROM? What kind of information is stored in the ROM?
Sir.
Yes, I'm listening. What kind of information is stored in the ROM?
Said, and normally it's the firmware.
I'm producing new
So
tests.
it's store memory permanently.
So what kind of information is stored in the ROM or the flash memory?
So it stores what the RAM has saved.
So the
It
BIOS.
stores what the RAM has saved.
Yes,
It stores permanent data.
What kind of data?
Let's say
Sir,
Yes.
the ROM and flash memory, ROM, they are storage devices. They are storage devices. So
Said
they
the
store
wrong. It's the
information.
system. It store the system firmware.
By what? Okay. So what kind of information is stored in the
Okay, so
RAM?
Say please the BIOS. The BIOS is stored on the ROM.
What kind of information is stored in the RAM or the flash memory?
Sir.
Yes, I'm listening.
With the ROM, it reads the information to the processor, to the RAM, for the RAM to interpret it to the user.
Hello.
Okay. So it's read only. Information there cannot be altered.
So you see the system has some
Yeah, all the operating system information is stored on the RAM.
Yes.
Sorry, or the ROM. The ROM.
What I say. Anyway, here's another question for you. What kind of information is stored in the RAM or the flash memory? In your explanation, you mentioned about firmware. Please mute your mics. So you need to do some small search on these things for me. It's a clue I'm giving you because I asked you the quiz. All right. I'll bring some questions from here for your quiz. So it's a bonus question. So the things I asked you so I asked you to do something for me. I asked that you search for the cache memory. So the cache memory versus the register.
Yes.
Okay, and I asked question about the BIOS and the firmware. They have to relate to ROM and that. Okay, so these are things I want you to read about. I'll ask you, in a quiz. So just to wrap up, what we are saying is that your quiz will cover everything we've done up to today. Okay, and it's going to be MCQ, multiple choice. 20 questions, but just 20. Multiple choice. And if you don't know, you can make a guess and then you get it. But it's all based on the things we have done on these slides you have already. I'm not going to go outside, and it's based on the things I have done with you. Perhaps at times I'll just bring in an application, something small to apply, but essentially you do fine. You don't need to worry yourself so much. If you have followed whatever you've done, that is okay for you. So all the sessions have been recorded. I don't control the recording. I don't do the recording, but I'll ensure that at least you get it before you write a quiz. I'll make sure that at least you get the how do you call it, the slides before, the videos before you do your quiz. I'll try to push that by next week. Okay? So do not worry, you'll be fine. All right, so any questions you may have before we go?
Sorry.
Yes.
Please, concerning the quiz that you'll be doing online. So please, how are you going to do it? Is it going to be like, I'm confused about how we are going to put up the answers.
Let's say I'm going to do online quiz.
Hello, sir.
What's your question again?
Yes, sir. Please, I heard that we are going to do the quiz online.
Okay.
And I want to know how we are going to do that.
Oh, so usually we have a system. You just log in, okay, with your own device. You can do the quiz on your mobile phone. They'll show you how to do it. We'll usually bring, I don't know how, but you just log on to a system, okay, and then once you log in, if you try the Google Classroom or there's something called Moodle, okay, you answer it there and then, that's it. Okay, so they'll show you how to do it with your phones or a laptop.
Okay, sir. Please, is it possible that you can attend lectures online and then we do your quizzes and examination face to face?
For the quizzes, we want you to appear at the learning centers. Because how do we monitor you when you are doing your quiz at home? If you want to use
because
AI
when I check my portal from the
you want to do it in the house.
Nah, we can't trust you to do that for us. Well, can we trust you? Can we trust you to keep your balance?
No.
So the fun is that for the quiz, you come to the learning center. Everybody has a learning center. You have to know your learning center so that at least you do the exercise there. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least for those that we choose online as our learning center, when we check our portal concerning the timetable, the venue, they made it online. So I don't know how we are going to do it.
Okay, so you know your coordinator? Yes.
I was able to change somewhere. There's the center for her.
Okay.
And when we went back for the timetable, everything has changed. So you can change it.
Okay, so you talk about yourself, but you need to know your center. When it comes to quizzes or exams, we do face to face. At least for
the person was online, then we change it to main campus.
Okay.
So depending on your location, we have centers all over. I'm sure there is Koforidi has said that also. I don't know, but first of all, those concerns probably can talk to your course reps, because you have to know your center, because that's where you go and write there. So I need to relay your information to them that people have issue with their centers. So then we'll communicate through your WhatsApp groups and then we'll find a way out. But for the exam, the quiz has to be face to face. You have to go to the center. We have to do supervision.
So we have bundle.
Can we change? Can we change the online to a nearby center?
Like I said, I don't know how to do that. That's not my tax. I'm only contracted.
We have bundle. We can do it online.
No, you can't.
Anyway, so please, yeah. So you can put a discussion after here. I'm only trying to teach. I don't know much about how the other things work. But most importantly, the video, I'll follow up. Whoever is recording, the person is the only show up, but please, we need the videos, okay, before our quiz. As we did this week, please let the students get access to the video so they can use to prep for their quiz. But the whole of next week is for revision. You have 1 week to prepare. And then 2nd to 21st to 22nd, you take some set of quizzes. Is the timetable out for the quiz?
Yes.
Yeah. Sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
Everybody's having.
So please,
Okay.
I have a suggestion.
Okay, so what's your suggestion?
That's where I saw the venue being indicated. Online.
Okay, please, in case you write the quiz online, I suggest it should be a link form. That one is easier than you should log in with our index number and the password. That one is difficult. So I suggest it should be a link form. That one is easier for everyone.
Anyway, like that one is I'm only contracted to teach, but I don't know much about this. The online assessment and all of that. But
Sir,
I don't
pass mama.
The quiz memory and the rest. I said it specifically that the exams cannot be online. You have study center on the online, but the exams you have to come to this. That's what they said. So the exams.
All of you know that the exam cannot be online.
Anyway, so guys, you can. So like I said, I will ensure that at least you have access to the necessary materials to get you ready for the exam. Whether it's going to be paper written or whenever you go to the face-to-face, you can use your own device to do the assessment, whatever the mode it is. I'm sure that will be communicated to you. Mine's prepare you towards it. So my job is done, and I know you guys.
So
will
please,
do well. I'm out of main campus.
Yeah, Cape Coast.
I'm based in Cape Coast, yes. I work at UCC, so yeah.
All right, guys, come and take you.
I saw that.
Don't receive that board.
What happened if you're able to write the
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Elliot.
Right, so
that wants to leave.
officially the class is ended, okay?
So, thank you, sir.
So please, you can stop the video. You can stop recording officially here now. So please stop recording. The rest is for off the record, I guess. If the person recording should stop. Our class is officially ended.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So the recording is still active. If you want to have your discussion afterwards, ensure that the recording is off. So please, whoever is recording, please stop that recording. So guys, I wish you the best. If there is any other issue, the course rep can get in touch with me and I'll address all those concerns.